And welcome back to The Average White Guys. My name's Alex Haynes, one of the owners of Squared, and we turn those likes into dollar bills by helping you with ROI and marketing strategies. It's awesome. And I'm here, more importantly, with the one, the only. There are whispers of the wind of his greatness. Books are being currently worked on about who he is and how he's affected the entire world. The butterfly effect is actually based on him actually getting up one morning and just kind of putting out in the universe, it could be better in the world having world peace. That is right. The one, the only, the Justin Scouten of LOW. Say hi, Justin.
Hello, everybody. This is Justin from LOW Properties and Community Real Estate Services. That was flipping awesome. Thank you so much. That was good.
I like that.
Especially we talked about the butterfly effect in the last one. Yes,
I pulled down deep for that one. That came out of nowhere.
So what's interesting though, okay. So our podcast today is going to be
about tonight?
It's going to be about friendship and feedback.
Aww.
And we'll get to why we brought this subject up. But
we are
friends. First, I want to talk about, I think I mentioned a couple times, I belong to Toastmasters, where you learn to be a cult. Yeah, sure. A cult of speakers, I guess, where you learn to be better speakers is what you do there.
Yes.
And so I am what we call the Sergeant Arms right now. I introduce it, and then I have to introduce our...
I was joking about the cult, but this is definitely getting worse. Go on.
All right.
Sergeant of Arms.
And we have a president.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Do you all drink punch?
Yes. No goats, though.
No goats? Excellent. That's a little
so I have to introduce the president. And most of the time it's just like, hey, this is blah, blah, blah. And so now I'm trying to embrace my inner Alex and trying to come up with things. So when I introduce him, I'm trying to, well, in a sense, embarrass him because I feel like it's what you do to me to a point.
Sure.
It's a fun embarrassment and it actually gets me excited about the podcast.
Okay,
but
good.
On the other hand, I did it the other day and he had a really funny laugh. Like he got a good chuckle out of it. It was only 1 or 2 comments compared to your 15.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But
I like to stack it.
That's it.
Nice little
I'm saying this because 1, I do love it. 2, I'm actually going to try and we'll have to do an opposite one of these days if I can ever get the nerves up to try and do something like that because that would be fun. That would really be.
I'll probably be like, oh my God, this is how you feel?
Yes.
Yeah, we're doing it again.
That'd definitely get me out of my comfort zone. Yes.
Yeah.
So why we're talking about the friendships and feedbacks is we ended up getting a comment from a friend of ours and he ended up saying he listened to our podcast and he listened to it when he was going through a rough time.
Yeah.
And the feedback is he listened to one of our episodes where it talked about how we were struggling in our business. We were struggling with some things in personal life. And he was kind of going, oh, other people are actually going through that. Mm-hmm. And I think that's why we actually had that episode because we wanted to let people know that
you're not
it sucks sometimes. Yeah. And we go through these changes, these challenges with our business, with our lives, with friendships sometimes. And you're going with health issues that you're trying to get better with. And so people need to know that there are other people out there. Mm-hmm. It's a community. Friendship helps and giving feedback so people know keeps us going and growing.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is, when we came up with this show with the 2 average white guys, we're probably not average. I mean, it was a joke. It was like 2 white guys. Of course, we're going to do a podcast. And we're going to own a business because that's what white guys do. And of course, we're going to talk about everything and nothing and give our insight on stuff without actually having any real degree behind us about why we should be able to give this advice. Of course, we're going to do that. But realistically, over time, the funny thing is you and I have talked more and more about men's health than either of us thought we were going to talk about, like the mental health side of things. Mostly because we've talked to other men and we've realized in our conversations how taboo the subject is and how much men need to be told it's okay to have a friend and you should probably have one. And what does that look like? And the challenge I think we're going to talk about tonight, and this is a little bit of a challenge, but it's fun, is that it shouldn't just be you're hanging out with someone and not talking. Like you should actually have a conversation, like a real one.
Yes and no.
Okay. Let's hear it out.
We talked about this.
Yeah.
One of the things that I brought up, I golf. I suck at golfing, but I golf and it's fun. Mm-hmm. And it's one of those, there's sometimes I'll go to some, like either a tournament or with my father-in-law and we can sit there for 4 hours and we talk about absolutely nothing that has to do about life. It's one of those you get back and my wife will say, so what do you and my dad talk about? Nothing. We just
you talked for 4 hours. You talked about nothing.
We were in a cart for 4 hours and we hit the ball and we just had fun. It was just, it wasn't, he helped me with my game. I suck at it. So he was giving me some tips And, we talked about, oh, this is a hard shot. And I'm like, you don't have to get out there and talk about anything. But it was 4 hours of
camaraderie,
70% relaxation,
okay,
30% wanting to throw your club into the pond, so, but on the other hand, yes, that's golf.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, it's just, you didn't have to do anything for 4 hours. I didn't think about my work. I didn't think about some of the stress levels that you have. And so sometimes
I'm not playing golf correctly because none of that happens when I'm playing golf.
That's friendship.
Okay.
And we sometimes will play with another twosome. And so when you do that, you get to know that person too. That is just random things that you don't know about somebody. But you're not thinking about things. And I think sometimes that's where friendship comes in. And that's where men come in that are different with the fact of, we don't have to talk about things when we get together.
That is true. We don't have to. And a lot of times we purposely do that to avoid.
Yes.
Because we want that nothing. For men, we need to decompress. A lot of us need a nothing box. We need a place where we can decompress and have nothing go through our heads. And that's healthy. What's not healthy though is only living there and never being vulnerable with somebody else to get that support you need.
Correct. Well, I think some of that is like this podcast. If you probably seen some of the first episodes of this thing,
they never went out.
Yeah.
They got
deleted, hopefully. Yes. Because I could barely
at one
talk.
point when you sell the business,
I think I was sweating. I was, yes. I was not able to have this kind of open, free conversation, knowing that people were going to be looking at me, knowing that people were going to be listening to me.
It wasn't video. It was just audio. And it was like, we had to have everything written out. I believe you typed up all your responses ahead of time and you were literally reading them. We've come a long way.
Yes, we have.
But in fairness, like, actually our producer was talking to like how we've actually rubbed off on each other. And I 100% can see how you've affected my life. I'm working out with you 2 to 3 times a week. And, honestly, I'm seeing gains.
Yes.
I started at, I think quite literally, we started with 2 pounds. I was at, just because I was trying to get back to a place where I was moving. I think I'm up to like 35 to 40 pound weights on certain ones. And I'm like pulling more weight. I'm lifting more. We've seen really big progress. I'm walking away sore, but like a good sore. I'm seeing changes in my body. I'm seeing like my clothing fit better. I feel more confident. I'm becoming somehow sexier.
All right.
I know it's very dangerous for the women out there. Single women
osmosis.
Out there. It is. Yeah. Osmosis.
Hey, I got to go with
you in a second. That was amazing.
All right. See, I'm coming out of my shell.
How's that? Amazing. I'm gonna need that clipped. I need that as a ringtone. I need that as my ringtone.
That being said, so where we're going with both sides of this is, as much as we are working out for say 2 hours sometimes and not really saying much in between some of the sets, we are actually having some deep conversation.
I think I actually growled at you the other night.
Yeah. Yes, you did. I was going to try and leave that out.
No, you should. No, we were at a workout and I was pushing and you went to go help me with something. And I was so in the zone. I was like, no, don't. But I couldn't get the words out. I was going
to try and pull a weight off of.
Yeah. Yes. And I was like, I growled because I was like really, I couldn't put, I was so like,
but I knew what that meant though too. Like, don't touch this damn thing.
Don't touch me. It was a weird moment. It was very, very animalistic. But I pushed myself and I felt it and it was good. And thank you for making me.
But that's where the friendships start to build on these things. I have learned we have to do these one-to-ones for BNIs. It's where you learn the other business. So this way you can promote the other business in this group, right? Mm-hmm. And we count this as that because we spend almost 3 or 4 hours sometimes getting to know our personalities, getting to know how we can help each other grow our business, being better people overall. And so we've opened up so much. And that's where I think this conversation or this podcast where we're able to go with it is, how does feedback help? And don't be afraid of giving feedback, building friendships and building deep friendships.
Yeah. Cause, whether you're working out with somebody or you decide to do a podcast because you're insane, or doing a business together or anything like that, that there's a level of vulnerability that happens and it's scary and exciting because there's a chance the other person's going to think you are as crazy as you actually are. He hasn't figured it out, folks. Don't tell him. Okay. Just leave it alone. Let me have this.
There's moments.
There's definitely moments. But like even when we started this, I remember I was like, I want to do this with him. And I literally was like, I'm going to swing for the fences. I'm going to ask. Worst you're going to say is no. But I remember I was kind of scared because I was like, well, he might say no. And then, man, I'm going to look like an
And here
idiot.
I was shocked. I'm like, why the hell do you want to do a podcast with me? You know, that type of thing too.
right.
So it's funny how we were both on the same page in different wavelengths.
Yeah. And obviously you said yes, and we've had a lot of fun. And people are actually watching now. Like, that's the weird thing. I never thought that was going to happen. He says, telling you all to subscribe and like and share. Because now I've had a taste and I want more.
Okay, so I do have a little bit of feedback that we've also got.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Let's get some feedback.
So I have to say, I think maybe one of our number one fans, it's my dad.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you, Pops.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Thank you, good sir.
Yes. Actually, it was funny. The other day, we were, I think, late on getting one of the episodes out by a day.
We got.
He even texted me this morning. He's like, "Dude, what's going on? Where is this?
Where's my hit?"
Yeah.
Yeah, we were late.
But it's fun. He's giving us some feedback. There was one where we gave the podcast on the Super Bowl ads.
Yeah.
And there was a little bit of profanity used more than other ones. And so he gave us some feedback kind of going, you know what?
You should rate that.
He actually said it was one of our best.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not afraid of using profanity in this every once in a while, but you don't want it too much. But he did point out that it was a little too much. And so now we're working on that as well.
Yeah. That's why the last episode I tried really, really hard not to swear. I don't know if I succeeded. I at least kept the one explicit thing coming from because it was coming.
No, you caught yourself. That was good.
Myself because I want to see these words and I'm not supposed to. But yeah, one of my issues, I'll be vulnerable here, is when I get tired and I'm exhausted. They say profanity is verbiage of the weak-minded and the stupid. Because it's a crux word and you are not expressing yourself well with actual vocabulary. And when I'm tired and I'm emotional and other things are going on, I swear more because I am not choosing my words correctly. And
so I have an interesting story on that one.
Sure.
I had a business partner once when I was in the construction field.
Mm-hmm.
I did more of the construction side. He did more of the plumbing. We combined the business.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a potty mouth, to say the least. I mean, he was like a trucker sometimes. And this would be when we were in some of the homes and he was not realizing maybe the customer was home.
He isn't reading the room well.
Yes. So my father-in-law, his name is Henry. Mm-hmm. He told me this one story about when he had to tell somebody that they were using too much profanity. And he used to help with the, I'm trying to say this politically correct, handicap in the sense of like Down syndrome type, where they can't process things as much. So not like handicap in the sense of
special needs.
Special needs. Thank you very much. I couldn't think of the right words, but yes. So he used to do that for special needs, and some of the kids that he was helping. They used a lot of profanity. And he asked them, or kind of learned where they were getting that from. And they just said they saw it and people got reactions from it.
Yeah.
And so that's why they started using it more, because they felt when they used profanity, because they didn't have the knowledge of being able to use better words, they would use profanity and it would get the reaction.
Yeah.
And so I related this to not being as smart.
Yeah.
And so I told him this story and he looked at me, he's like, "You asshole."
Yeah.
I said, "I'm just saying you're using profanity because you can't come up with better words."
And 100%. And
sometimes it's fun. I'm not trying to knock on profanity overall, but when you're using it too much and that's what your crutch is, there's a reason, because you're probably not thinking of better words to say.
100%. And I've gone through phases where I swear more, and it's usually because right, wrong, or different. I'm working with a lot of blue collar, and there's a lot more profanity when I work with more blue collar because that's what I'm around all the time. Not right. And it's, something I actually have to work on because I tend to be more reflective of my surroundings and my emotions will come out. And so even though it's like when I read, we joked, when I read, I drop words like they're 10 cent, 30 cent words, 50 cent words. We joke about that. What's the vocabulary word of the day? Well, hippopotamus. No.
So I brought that story up though, because that's his feedback. Yeah. We were friends.
Yeah.
I was able to give him the feedback and tell him, you need to watch it. This is how you need to watch. This is how it is affecting you. Yeah. And so that's why, again, we bring up this thing of we need to be able to communicate. And sometimes we think of ourselves as men as like, no, we can't open up our emotions.
Yeah.
I know we've had a podcast on that
there's
as well,
a whole conversation about the evolution of man and what men go through, and the idea that a lot of what we do presents for, goes back to like can men, you have to be the strongest and best because that's what women want as providers. They want a strong man. What does strength look like? Well, it doesn't look like a crybaby. Like no one looks at a crybaby and go, that person's strong. They go, that person's weak. And so over years and years of, let's call it not macro, but micro evolution of how we've wanted men to be presented and what we've taught, generation after generation, this is what a man looks like. Well, we've taught men that men don't share feelings, that men don't cry, that you are strong, and this is what strong looks like, and that you can never be vulnerable because vulnerability is weakness, and you can never be wrong because if you're wrong, that's considered weakness, and that is really stressful.
Yeah,
like how are you always perfect and always have all the answers and provide and.
Well, my best feedback that I would give to my wife is the fact that I think that's why I have become better at communication is because she gets me to open up. And so that's helped me as a person. And I think that's where in the past it wasn't allowed.
And where did you get this wife? Do I go to the store and do I submit paperwork somewhere?
Actually country line dancing. So
that's what I'm doing
years
wrong.
ago, but yeah, I'm actually 30 now.
Do I put a requisition form in? No. I got to get me one of those. I heard they're really good to have.
Yes.
Anyway, if you're watching this and are single, no, I'm kidding.
This isn't a dating app.
Come on.
But we also talked about, though, feedback is a double-edged sword.
Oh, 100%.
Especially nowadays with all the TikTok videos and everything out there, that the comments that will come back on feedback. When I get some people are going above and beyond in what they should even be talking about. They don't really have the knowledge of maybe what they should be talking about. And people then are just so rude back. But even when people do have that knowledge, it's like some of these comments that people give are just plain rude.
Yeah. We call them trolls, right?
Yeah.
Well, trolls are people who just go out of the way to make people feel bad. When I was much, much larger than I am now, we had people in the comments say some really horrible things about me. Like it was brutal. Like to the point Quinn would delete them or like hide them. So I didn't see it, but I knew. Cause they were not nice. Cause I was a fat guy. Let's be honest. And so there are people out there who just want to see other people's world burn because they're miserable. And other people that, like you said, they'll take the opportunity to make themselves feel better because they get to behind a screen and say nasty things or trying to make you look bad because they're not as brave as you are for putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
And they feel small and they want you to feel small.
I think sometimes this goes back to the whole cussing thing though, too.
Yeah.
I mean, they are saying these things because I think of a lack of knowledge and a better way of being able to get their point across of saying, I don't agree with you.
Yeah.
And here's why I don't agree with you. Okay, that's fine. That's a nice comment.
Yeah. We don't really.
I don't need you to call me an asshole. Yeah.
Right.
I'm not saying that's what I don't know in the comments, but those are some of the things that could nicely even come across.
We don't really talk politics, but sometimes I see how politicians try to like argue with each other and it's gotten so amazingly petty. Like literally someone's like, well, so-and-so's fat. I'm like, that's not an argument.
No.
You just call someone fat. Like, are we back to playground rules? Like,
is it
you just going to call them fat because you don't have an answer to like their actual logic?
Yeah.
Fraud's bad. You're fat. Yeah. Wait, what? I'm just like some of these things, like it reminds me of that. It's like we've gotten to a place where we're talking at each other, not with each other. Yeah. And I think men are afraid to do that.
Big word now is buzzwords are emotional intelligence, right?
Ooh,
so you need to have some more emotional intelligence. I
think
you
get the 10-cent word.
All right.
Emotional intelligence.
And this is where you're just learning how to actually give positive feedback to people. Mm-hmm. And even if it's a negative thing that you want to bring up or not, I guess not negative, but if you want to disagree, do it in a way that is constructive.
Yeah. It's okay to disagree and have different viewpoints.
Yes.
And you can do that constructively and still come away with friends.
Yeah.
Like debate's healthy. Like I think it's good to have debate and I want other people to have other thoughts because if everyone thought like me, the world would burn down. It'd be very bad.
Well, in our last podcast, or one of our podcasts, I don't know when they're coming out, we talked about supernatural. We talked about religion. And I think we talked about the fact that people have their different viewpoints. And again, that's where you need to have those open conversations and feedback of being able as men to be able to have those discussions and not worrying about somebody jumping down your throat.
100%. And I may or may not have threatened a group of people to put them in the pit of hell.
Yes.
And may they burn for eternity. Go watch the episode if you want to see me get really, really angry at a very select group of people and see who I actually hate. It's a very small group of people. I love most everybody. I like most everybody, but there's a select few. Go watch that episode.
Yeah. Now I'm interested in the feedback we're going to get on that one.
We're gonna get some feedback. 100%. I may have to be kicked off the show.
Yeah. But don't be afraid, I guess, is the biggest thing.
Yeah. 100%.
So
I think too, like, let's get back to this conversation. I talked in one of the episodes, we talked about the Super Bowl and people go to sports, and you talked about golf. And I joked that golf is not fun for me. I don't understand it. I don't understand why anyone would hit a little ball with this flat edge that's kind of curved, and why I keep missing it and keep destroying this beautiful grass that they have, and why I have to like everything about it.
Eye on the ball.
Everything about it, I hate.
Yeah. An old Caddyshack reference.
So sorry.
We're talking about golf and why you actually don't like it.
So you like golf. Other people like going sports and like fantasy sports, right? And I play like D&D and do card games. Like, there's a place for you, and there is a people group that you can get together with. Now, the cool thing is you can go the extra step. Because I am who I am, almost always, there will be a conversation about what's going on in your life. Hey, what's really going on? We don't go, hey, how's your day? No, really, how's your day? What's going on? And then the floodgates open and people get off, they walk away feeling better because they just someone asked and cared. Yeah. But that's me. Like, I naturally do that because I care, right? You can choose to do that. And that's all it takes for like real conversations to happen. Just try. You'd be surprised what would happen.
Yeah. Well, then let's talk about feedback in different ways. So I've talked about me opening up in this podcast.
Sure.
And how I've grown. I think you said I've grown in this podcast, especially if you look at the
say leaps and bounds. I mean,
yeah,
heck, you're getting the most views when we put reels up. No one wants to see this ugly mug. They want to see the God, AKA Justin Scouten.
So one of the things I've gotten some feedback on is that because I have a knowledge personality, right?
Yeah.
It can come across as maybe, what is it? Dry? You help with that? How do I come across sometimes to certain people to where they don't want to approach me?
Oh, intimidating. You're this wealth of knowledge, and it's like, holy crap. I don't know if I can handle all that.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because I brought this up to my wife the other day, that I had a conversation with somebody during a one-to-one where they didn't even want to go to a lunch with me because of the fact that they felt intimidated by me. And I'm like, me personally, I'm going, there's no reason somebody should be intimidated by me. That's just because I don't feel I'm that type of personality.
No, once you get to like, actually, none of these conversations feel intimidating. Like, we feel very open, very casual. Like, we have really good relationship, but we developed that, and that first step is the hardest step.
Yes.
Once you get past that step, then it's like, yeah, great. But I also know that because my best friend is a knowledge type. So like, I knew this was going to happen.
And so when I went out to lunch with this person, he told me this, that like for almost 6 months, he didn't want to even go to lunch with me because he felt intimidated by me. I'm like, okay, I don't like that side of me. I don't want that to be my persona. And so what I'm trying to do when you now go into the BNI groups is I'm trying to go up to the new people in the group. I'm trying to hold some better conversations, not just plain old, hey, how are you doing today? Like you said earlier, actually get some deep conversations, maybe throw a little joke in there just to let them know that I am actually approachable.
Yeah.
I do want to get to know you. I am interested in you.
I love it.
And so but that's hard for me.
I bet you're exhausted after the end of this, right? You're like,
I'm even trying to joke during the meeting more too. And I'm like, okay, yes, you're right. It is very hard for me and draining at the end. But at the end of the week, when I need to keep my hands down. I keep hitting the microphone. Sorry.
It's going to be it's one of those episodes, folks.
It's interesting to me now seeing that. And I enjoyed it looking back that I stepped outside of my boundary to try and make myself better.
So proud of you.
So it wouldn't have happened unless I got the feedback is where I'm trying to tie this whole thing into. Even with somebody who I don't do a lot of conversations with, felt comfortable enough now with me to give me that feedback.
Yeah.
And so that was fun to hear.
Yeah. And it goes both ways. Like, we've talked about like how much you've helped me on my health journey and like the fact that you've encouraged me to work out and you're working out with me. And I've signed up for, what's this thing called?
A Spartan race, a
Yeah.
sprint.
Yeah, that's right. It's Spartan.
Obstacle course.
I've signed up to hurt myself more, and do more horrible things to my body and regret all life choices. And I'm dryly joking about this, but there is my business partner and my producers here. And if you asked him, hey, would Haynes ever sign up for one of these things? He would fall off his chair laughing because he's like, there's no way he would ever want to do this. There's nothing in it. He watches those on TV while eating potato chips. Like,
But if we
right?
didn't,
That, yeah, he's like, this is not like, this is not fun for him. This is not what something he wants to go or think he wants to do. And I signed up because I made a deal with you and I said, hey, if you ask me to do it, I'll say yes. And so now we're doing it. And for the first time ever, I'm excited. Like, I have a goal and we're creating a workout plan to make sure I can go through those obstacles. And we're going, okay, great. What do I have to work on to get through this instead of just avoid it and go, I don't want to do it. Now I'm trying to
get
tackle
past the
the problem.
blisters on your feet right now.
Yeah,
is the
yeah,
only
that-
thing. Yes.
Well, one step at a time.
All right.
When you start running kilometers because you're like, I got to get to a 5K. So you get to 2 or 3 and then you realize it's brand new shoes and
Yeah.
don't do that.
Yeah.
Should be smarter than me.
Well, you just learned some feedback, didn't you?
Yeah. Learned the wrong way.
Yes.
Painful way.
Painful.
Let's not run on new shoes.
Yeah.
But like, it's funny because people have commented, look, you've lost all this weight. You're looking really good, as well as you've really explored your businesses. I have people coming going, how did you do what you did? I want to do what you did. I'm like, what do you mean? Well, I want to be like you. You've done this and blown this up and glowed up this. And I'm like,
I'm just trying to be the best part of me.
I
right?
haven't quite figured it
Yeah.
out. I'm still figuring it out. Let me get back to you in about 6 months when I look back and go, this is what I did.
Oh, yeah.
This is what I did. Don't do these things.
Yes,
do these
I think
things.
that's the biggest thing. You're learning from your mistakes
Yeah.
more than anything else.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's where, again, feedback is important.
Mhm.
Just watch how you do it.
Yeah.
Don't be rude about it.
Don't be rude.
I mean, maybe if you're playing golf or you're doing something like that with a best friend and you feel like you can be that comfortable, that's one thing. Zingers.
Well, there's a
those
difference
but-
between being rude and being like there's different levels of relationship, right? We actually think did a long time ago about the podcast, the different levels of relationship and saying like, I literally told you I hate you in a workout and you laugh because I don't mean it. It's more of I am in so much pain. I hate the fact that you're making me do this, but I love it.
Yeah. I had you do 2 more reps, I think, right? Yeah.
Then I'm like, I'm very angry. I'm so happy at the end, but in the moment I'm like, I hate you so much. It's a good hate. It's good. And that it's not actually malevolence. It's, there's my 10-cent word.
Yep.
It's like the emotion of working through something and that I'm not happy that you're pushing me in the moment, but later I'm glad. And I tell you so. And I say, thank you. Cause I'm like, thank you. I'm sorry. I was angry at you. I'll bring a treat. Says apology. I owe you some donuts. Something, right? I owe you some Chick-fil-A.
I was going to say, let's not go donuts.
Not
but
donuts,
hey.
yeah. I owe you some Chick-fil-A.
All right.
Right. Because like we have that relationship where I can feel comfortable doing that with you. But if someone else said that to you randomly, that would hurt your feelings.
And we're also talking about feedback where sometimes what can take place
Mhm.
is somebody's being vulnerable to you
Mhm.
and you feel like they are a friend at that point.
Yeah.
And if that friendship maybe doesn't work out, or even if you are maybe in a little bit of an argument of how things are going, don't use those things against that other person.
Don't weaponize that.
Don't
moment.
weaponize it.
Yeah.
Yes. I think that's the big thing to take back when we are trying to tell you to open up to other men, be a vulnerable person because it is better for you in the long run.
It's definitely a risk.
Don't abuse that privilege.
Yeah. I think I don't want to go into deep, but I will say this. I am lucky enough to have someone who I was able to be that person that helped them believe in mankind again because they had people do that to them. And I didn't know at the time until the person opened up later and go, this is what happened. And I was like, holy crap. I understand why you don't trust people. Like that is why would anyone do it's like one of those like stories you're like, how could anyone do that to someone who's so nice? Um, but that's sometimes happens. Like it definitely happens in high school. It definitely can happen in middle school. And let me just be honest here. I need y'all to grow up. I need you to grow up and actually be adults and stop being petty and don't hurt someone because you're hurting.
Yeah. I know there's a comment I say to you every once in a while, not in this realm of the podcast, but outside of it. I'm like, okay, so I'm going to tell you something, but don't repeat it. And you're like, I'm not going to repeat this.
Every time, right?
I say it a lot to you.
Yeah. I don't know what he's talking about. He has never told me anything in confidence. I don't. No.
So it's one of those things though, that there's a reason I must be saying that because somebody has taken the trust that I've given them and they've exploited it.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why we need to bring this up. And there's a reason I end up having to say that because they've abused that in the past. And so be careful of that because if you do abuse it, then people are not going to open up. And it ruins that friendship as well.
Yeah. It's a great way to lose a lot of people. And like you will get found out. It will eventually come back to you if you're that person and it will blow up your life. Not in a good way.
Yeah.
I'm humbled to say that a lot of people, there's a joke in the BNI that someone has nicknamed me the priest of the group because everyone comes to me with their problems and everyone wants absolution and everyone comes now after me advice and they know I won't share anything. When I say most of the group, I mean almost everyone in the group at some point has come to me and go, hey, can we have a talk? Don't you talk? Can this just be between us? I'm like, okay, let me just quickly put on that collar.
Yes.
Yes, my child.
Yes.
tell me your sins. Yeah, tell me your sins. But I am privileged and humbled that people see that in me and they trust me. I am also very aware that is a very delicate and easy thing to betray. And you could choose for good to be a sounding board, or you could be manipulative and hurt people. Just know at the end of the day, you will reap what you sow. And so I personally, I think you believe me, we both like to sow joy and happiness and confidence, and we want people to be better. Not everyone's like that.
We're human and we slip up, but as long as you are cognizant of it, you are going to be a better person.
It also helps that I just have figured out how to forget conversations like after they've happened and like just, like clean my brain. I'm like, so like I told you this last week. I'm like, you did? I meant you did.
You told me not to tell anybody, so it literally erased from my mind. So we're good here. Yeah. So
I'm running a business and I'm working out with Justin. I have no energy.
That is why it's not there. Yes.
Not there. Are you a cute cat? No, I don't care. I don't care. I don't understand. What do you want from me? No, but seriously, I think that's a really good point that you're bringing up. Don't abuse someone's vulnerability.
And to bring it back around to the beginning of what our conversation was, is how we started this podcast is because we got that feedback. That made us feel good. I think about keep going with these podcasts.
Oh yeah.
We felt like we made a difference in somebody's life at a point when they were having a rough time. And so that's where letting us know that made a big difference for both of us.
Yeah. And the fact they even reached out, like that was a big,
yes.
It was so impactful. They're like, hey,
he called you just to tell you that, didn't he?
Yes. Yeah. I was moved. I was humbled. I was moved. I was excited. I was, and then I immediately said, well, why don't you just call me? I moved beyond that and went, now I'm concerned. What's going on? Like I immediately went into, let's have a conversation. What's going on? And they're much better. They're feeling much better. They just had a moment.
And you know who you are, so we do thank you for that.
Oh,
we just want to shout
out
on the podcast.
We're proud of you. You are amazing and fabulous and wonderful. And I have some other nice words I've told to you, but I'm very proud of your business.
If he says we can say his name in business next time, then we'll go ahead and do it. But for now,
maybe we'll have him on the podcast.
There we go. Yes.
Give him a little shout out because he does some really great work.
Yes,
he does. So I guess wrapping this up, right? I'd love to know in the comment section. Do you struggle actually getting friends? Men out there, are you looking for a group? Throw it out there. Like, hey, I'd love to hang out with somebody. Tell us what your interests are. Tell you where we're at. Maybe someone out will be close to you or go, hey, I got a great group. Come join us. Got a great group of people, right? You never know. And you're not going to get what you need unless you ask for it. So leave a comment in the section below, not just for us, but maybe for yourself as well. Be a little vulnerable. Okay. And if we see any trolls, just know that we will find you and we will delete you. All right. We'll find you. Anything else you want to add?
I think we wrapped it up.
I think that's good. No, remember, like you said, hit that like, hit that share, leave a comment because we crave it so much. We love it. Until next time, we are
The Average White Guys.